Alright, so our cache is done. It takes a good amount of 40 minutes to go through the process. Now 40 minutes is not that much for simulation actually, or for a caching. But let's say we was using 0.03, then that's almost like twice as smaller, or the division size is like a half of 0.5, right? So that means we're getting twice as much on all three dimensions, so that's 8 times more. That means it's gonna be not 40 minutes but 40 minutes. It's like 6 hours or 4 hours, at least, to render out these things. So it's a big change. So I can't stress enough on the simulation enhancement before you do the caching, right? And try to figure out the minimum quality you need and use that. Especially when you are iterating, that's even more important. I know it's not uncommon that people in series production that it takes a day or two to really simulate something that is huge, but still, as when you're doing exercising or practicing or simple smaller projects, don't try to push it to that much. It's gonna take a lot of time, and not just time but also space. The size of the simulation, if I pull that up and take a look, you can see they're actually size are ranging from nothing right, to all the way to 600 megabits. Okay, now you also have to time that by 8 if your simulation is twice as detailed, or division size is only half of what you're having now. 8 times more, how much is that? It's 4 gigabits down the way in the middle. And that's just one frame, right? If it's gonna be all the way from maybe here, right, all the way to here, that's all the 600 ones. That's 34 4 gigabits, right? 34 times 4, how much is that? Or 21 times 4, actually that's 21 gigabits in total. You times that by actually 8, right? So it's 180 gigabits in total, right? That's how much you will get only from frame 29 to frame 62. You have other frames down the way. Let's see if we have all the frames included. How big are they? Doesn't even tell me. Maybe they're too big. So that's gonna be a lot of size or space to store these guys too. So you don't want it to be that guy who spent a whole lot of time and a lot of space, and then eventually you are getting a result you don't want. You have to try it again, right? So it's especially when you're doing iteration, don't try to push the limit of your performance. So I'm gonna check on load from disk, and let's take a look. So that's the simulation result. As you can see, even loading these guys are getting slow because they're really big afterwards. But we're getting decent result. Right. It's almost perfect size-wise. Cool. So I'm gonna say this is probably the best we can get now when it comes to performance and simulation and caching time and size. So we're gonna settle down with it. I do have a little clipping there, but I think I can blur it out in the compositing part, so I'm not worrying too much about that. So that's gonna be it for the caching. I hope all the information works. And moving on to the next one, we're gonna go ahead and try to do some rendering. Okay, thanks for watching. See you next.